What's up, guys? Today I'm going to break down my September royalties for sync licensing. So it wasn't a PRO payment month, but it was, if you guys are members of music libraries that pay biannual or quarterly payments, they usually pay in March and September. And if they're quarterly, also June and December, I think. So September and March are usually pretty good for sync fees or any upfront royalties like that. So I'm going to show you some of my statements that I got. I got statements from, I think, 8 or 9 different libraries. Sometimes also I get payments without statements too. They'll just send you the money. You don't get a breakdown of what it is. But this time I got 8, I think, statements. So let's take a look at them. So this first statement here is from a library that publishes through APM in the US and Canada. There's a ton of stuff on here, but a lot of it's just streaming on Spotify and YouTube and random stuff. So I scrolled down here to the sync fees, or I guess they're my share of the blanket fees. So there's a bunch of payments here for $10.33. If you don't know, blanket fees are basically a subscription that like a network pays to the library to use the music for 1 year, for example. So they just divvy it up between the composers. So I guess like anything on these channels or whatever is worth $10.33 when they divide it up. Had a placement here on diners, drive-ins, and dives, $10.33. Eater, I don't know what that is. Multiple diners, drive-ins, and dives episodes. Guys, All-American Road Trip, which is Guy Fieri, the guy from the same show. And then NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. That was another one. That's a decent paying back-end one. Yeah, so there's a lot. This is a very detailed statement. This is the most detailed of any library that I work with. Yeah, so that's that one. Pretty cool. And the dollar amount was in the hundreds. Next, this is from a Universal library. It's a few pages, but I'm just going to show you one page of it. This one is less detailed. It just tells you the track title, and it tells you the income type: blanket, mechanical performance, masters, other, stream, video stream, digital download, etc. You can see here, there's a $14.58 thing, blanket license. I got here $20.62 where it says masters. I don't know what that exactly means. A lot of smaller payments, $8 and some change, and $6. I should also mention this first statement that I showed is 2 albums worth of music that I have. One of which is I'm the only songwriter. The other one, I'm 50-50 with somebody else for the whole thing. This one with the Universal, it's 8 total tracks that I have, and I'm the only songwriter for all of them. This was also in the low hundreds statement. Next, we have a Denmark library. This is pretty low money. I got a payment in March from them, which was a lot better. I have probably 25 to 30 tracks with them. Some of them are just by me. Some of them are co-written by others. My statement here, I didn't meet the threshold. A lot of the libraries do a $100 threshold or 100 euros or whatever the currency is. But not this one because the Danish krone is so low. This comes out to about $25, so that's not hitting the threshold. However, my previous statement was about $200 US, so that one did hit the threshold, so that's why it's lower now. This is like 5 pages or something. Here's one page. Yeah, there's nothing too high. I mean, considering that the whole statement is $25, but it shows you, what territory the music was licensed, what kind of usage, synchronization, mechanical, etc. So at least it's good to see stuff that's going through. Hopefully you want to see these tracks earn money on your royalty statements through your PRO in the coming months or years. Any library that pays sync fees like this, it's good. It's good, obviously, if it's really good money, but the fact that they send out stuff like this is always encouraging. The Denmark one was, I would call it an independent library. They sub-publish through what we'll call minor sub-publishers because they're not Universal and BMG and stuff. Here's another statement. It's BMG library. Not a ton of stuff. I only have, I think, 3 tracks with them. Here's one track earning $1.34 through a bunch of stuff, though. It's probably just streaming and stuff. Anyway, my account balance on this is 3.79 GBP. Not much earnings from this, but eventually I hit the threshold. It's only a couple tracks, so it's not like I expected much from it. Here's another one page. I have 2 albums with this library, but there's only, 4 tracks that are showing up on the statement. I guess those are the only ones that earned upfront royalties. It's not that high, €4. However, I've gotten good payments from this library. I've met the threshold a few times, so over 100 for a given biannual payment. But yeah, doesn't show you too much. Track title, and there's ad rev royalties, so that's like identifying stuff which they collect on your behalf. SMI, that's one of the sub-publishers, and Sonaton is one of the sub-publishers. That's the German and Austria one. Here's another one, a library that's with APM and I think also BMG. Let's look. I only have 1 track on this statement, but I've since signed another track or 2 with this library. It tells you the track Runaway Car. That's the only track I have with them. And then there's a different kind of category for this blanket license fees. Some APM royalties, because that's their US and Canada thing. Everything else, I don't really know what it all means. Czech Republic, blanket fee. And yeah, this has the ad rev as well. And I'd say last but not least, but it is last and it is the least. This is a blank statement that I got from a library that I've only been working with for about a year. I have a couple albums with them, but they're not all published yet, and they were kind of given to them close together. So this is a statement for $0.00. It's with a library that goes through Warner Chappell and BMG, although they are actually switching their US sub-publishers, so it's somebody other than Warner Chappell. But I'm glad that I got a statement because it shows that they actually send out the biannual statements when they're supposed to. So I know that I'll get royalties from them, just not this time around. And it actually looks like some of the statements like this look similar. So this one actually looks like the one from the Sonaton library, which is 5-alarm as well. Yeah, so that's the upfront fees that I got in September. I also got a CSAC statement. That universal library that I'm with, for whatever reason, the US royalties have to go to me through CSAC. So I got a statement from that, which is kind of just icing on the cake. It was like $70, but it's only those 8 tracks I mentioned, and it's only like 1 placement that it was all paying for, with a bunch of re-airings and stuff. So it was more than I expected. I got like $20 my last quarter from it. So yeah, decent enough. Yeah, so between 8 libraries paying sync fees, I didn't hit the threshold for all of them, but I still hit in the mid hundreds total. It's an okay month for sync fees. My best month ever for sync fees, I think, was the first half of 2024, where I got almost $2,000 because I hit the threshold for everybody, and there was some bigger sync fees, like a $400 sync fee here and there. So yeah, guys, hope this is something that you enjoy watching, and I'll try to keep up with these. Next month, I'm hoping to get, or this month is now October, I'm hoping to get paid for the AFC Championship game, so I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that one. Yeah, and we'll see you next time.